For decades, people have wanted to know if our running performance is better if we run in the heat or in the cold. And best of all, today we're going to learn how running in the cold or the heat can have different impacts on your heart rate, your oxygen levels, and if it really does affect the way your muscles react. Whether it's sunny outside or snowing, our goal here is to figure out how different temperatures affect our running performance. Now let's start off with cold weather. Multiple studies have come out showing that when the weather is cold, performance decreases slightly by just 5%. Remember, 5% is not much, but the reason for this is because the body tends to create a lot of heat during extreme exercises, such as running or sprinting. And on the other hand, studies show that when it's extremely cold, our metabolism is at a working rate of only 20%. But what does this mean? It means that only 20% of the energy that our body produces goes towards contracting muscles. Hence, why we quickly start to sweat and get very hot inside. You might think that it's beneficial to your exercise if you wear a lot of clothes, as in you're aiding yourself to maintain a heat balance and stop existing heat from leaving your body. But just know this isn't necessarily the case, especially in smaller or leaner women. Women like this experience the impact of cold weather a lot quicker than taller or fatter men. But why is this? The main reason for this is body temperature. Our body temperature tends to decline rapidly, especially when it's cold. Overall, we recommend not to work out in extremely cold temperatures because your performance can greatly decrease because of the fall of muscle temperature. In addition, what many people don't realize is that physical performance changes because of blood flow all throughout your cardiovascular system, and it is greatly altered. Let's start off with this. For example, let's just say you want to go sprinting. Your body really doesn't have much time to warm up, and it can greatly have an impact on your muscle. Now, this can all be good, but what if we live in an area of the world where it's always cold and rainy, or even snowing all the time? The answer is simple. When the weather is a lot cooler, it's vital to warm up for a long time. You might think 5 to 10 minutes is good enough, but a more sufficient number would be anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. Remember, if you're sprinting or going for a 100-meter run and you want to take a break, it's in your best interest to make the break as short as possible. But why? We don't want the muscles to cool down again, and we want to keep them extremely warm and hot. On the other hand, if we completely do a 360 and change hemispheres, let's say you live in a part of the world where it's always hot and there is excessive heat. This can have a negative aspect as well. Imagine running in extreme heat condition. It can lead to stress and increased heart size. And no one really talks about it. Heat can have a massive negative effect on long distance runners or events that you're performing in all around the world. Usually, hot weather warms the body, and as a defense mechanism, we start to sweat. But have you ever thought to yourself, why does this happen? The exact reason for this is that the body doesn't want to overheat. This is the body's way of releasing internal heat. And although you might think to yourself, sweating is good, but if we're not careful and we don't watch out for ourselves, we can have excessive sweat leading to dehydration. So please drink lots of water. Hence, if we are dehydrated, our running performance is also affected in a negative manner. Many studies have shown, especially for long distance runners, that excessive heat can lead to low performance levels and even reduce our speed. According to the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health, finish times were a lot slower in London marathons when the weather was extremely hot. This is why you'll often see the runners look extremely red and drained because the heart rate is working a lot harder and the blood shifts towards the skin to get rid of the heat. If an individual was running at the same level of intensity in both cold and hot conditions, the heart rate would be drastically higher in hot weather conditions. So what do we conclude from this study? If you want to run in the cold, make sure you spend a lot of time warming up and take minimal breaks so the body doesn't get cold. And if you want to run in the heat, drink a lot of water so you don't get dehydrated. And it might even help you to put a wet towel over your head right before the race, as this keeps the body from overheating. Please comment below on your running experience, either if it was in the cold or the heat, and if you want to see more videos just like this, click on the videos right on the screen.